Good morning. Today we're going to talk about student rights. So please listen to this. Bridget Mergens walked into the office of her school principal in Omaha, Nebraska, with a request. She wanted to start a student group, a Christian Bible study club. Mergens High School sponsored many extracurricular clubs, including a photography club and a scuba diving club. Her principal and her local school board denied the request, claiming that the religious club she proposed was different from the other approved clubs. To Mergens, the school board's arguments were flawed. Mergens was represented by a Christian advocacy group, the National Legal Foundation. The legal basis of Mergens' claim was a national law, the Equal Access Act. The law's main interest was to restrict the ability of public high schools to exclude religious extracurricular clubs. In 1981, before the act's passage, the Supreme Court had already affirmed these rights for students at public colleges and universities, but it had not yet done so for those in public high schools. One consideration was whether high school students are mature enough to distinguish between their school's efforts to provide an open forum and the possibility that the school endorsed the club members' religious beliefs. In June 1990, 5 years after Bridget Merkins tried to start the Bible Study Club, the Supreme Court ruled in her favor. The court upheld high school students' rights to have the same access for their faith based extracurricular clubs as that granted to other student groups. It also upheld the constitutionality of the EAA. In her majority opinion in Board of Education of West Side Community Schools versus Mergens, Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day O'Connor wrote, high school students are mature enough and are likely to understand that a school does not endorse or support student speech that it merely permits on a non-discriminatory basis. Others, including some of the justices on the Supreme Court, worried that the free speech provisions of the EAA might also guarantee access for student groups with much more controversial agendas. It was this possibility that had especially worried school administrators. Omaha principal James Finley recounted, I didn't have concern about the 5 or 6 kids having Bible study club. I was concerned about what and who this opens the doors to. I've had students say they'll start a Satanist club or a skinheads group. So I am going to ask you to address some questions on what I just read you, and hopefully we'll have a great discussion.